I didn't read this. I just happened to come across the headline. But Brittany Renner explains why men like submissive women. So I'm reading this for the first time on the air. So let's see how it goes. Let's see what she said here.
I saw a clip about this too in the shade room, but I didn't watch it. But I heard her say that she's not submissive.
It's painfully obvious why men love the idea of a submissive woman, said Renner in her video. She began by dissecting the words etymology. Submissive, per its definition, is ready to conform to the authority or will of others. The prefix sub means under. Think of subpar, submarine. In short, your world is under his. Now, there seems to be a theme here: good girls versus bad girls. A lock that can be opened up. A lock that can be opened with many keys is a broken lock, and if you can't submit to the man, you're going to die alone. So my question to men is: do you want perfect poly, a puppet, a prisoner, or a partner who has no problem overtly challenging you? Sorry, this text is small. I gotta zoom in. Let's see. King treatment and knowing your partner's love languages, that's one thing. Being submissive is a whole other thing, is its own thing. So if you find yourself abandoning your wants, needs, and desires to make something work, I'm here to tell you it was never a match to begin with. Okay.
I mean, that makes sense.
Let's break it down. It's painfully obvious why men love the idea of a submissive woman. So as a man, women that are probably going to watch this clip, I think that men like the idea of a submissive woman probably because, well, I think there's two different things here. There's the one obvious thing where men want to be very controlling and they want the perfect poly puppet, like she was saying. Because you want
their image too.
You want your girl to do whatever, make her this certain way. You want the dress up doll, like you want that.
She's catering to me. I'm in control. She's
cooking for me. She's doing everything in the world for me, and she looks a certain way, and she's gonna do whatever I say. There's definitely the male domination, ego sort of thing. The other part, though, is that I feel like men also want a submissive woman, because women are annoying, and I think that men don't want to be annoyed. So I would say more often than not, women are annoying.
Do you think I'm annoying?
Yes, I do.
Like not all the time though.
Most of the time, you're annoying.
Hey, 40%. No, really think about it. It's like 40%.
Annoying?
Yeah. Like for the most part, I'm just chilling. I'm on my phone. I'm not even bothering. I'll be on my phone.
Yeah, but you'll be on your phone to find some topic to annoy me with.
Oh my God, babe, don't be dramatic. It's like 40%.
40%?
Yeah. Why does it look like that? Yeah, it's like 40%.
It takes you an hour to put on leggings to go to the gym.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
Because I had to fix my hair and put eyebrows on.
Listen, that's an inconvenience.
Yeah, and I mean, I told you I could get ready earlier.
Yeah, you could, but you don't care about my time.
Yeah. I mean, work be busy though.
Yeah, but you don't value me.
Oh my God, you're dramatic.
Well, yeah, there's obviously the dominant part, and then the other part is just the annoyance of it. I think that men are probably off-put by women, the nagging of women. So they rather them just listen to whatever the man has to say, so that way they're not being like annoying.
Yeah, and they rather
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like she said, by definition, that means to be below somebody, which is a problem if it doesn't work for you.
I think people,
because
it doesn't work for you. Because
there is a, like, even in corporate, like, there's a hierarchy to certain things. Like, some people may have the power and the other person doesn't. Like,
that's just how it works.
You're rich, right?
Yeah.
And you're wealthy, and you own this house.
Yeah.
And I'm your spouse, and I live there. You have the power. I am below you financially.
Yeah, and I think women want men to pay all the bills, but then they don't want to be like submissive or cooking and cleaning. It's like, but like this man's providing for you in so many ways, and you can't just maybe simply diminish yourself a little bit because you're, like you said, you're already diminished.
Like stay in your place. Like that would be the equivalent of me going to the CEO, but like, yo, you're not running your company properly. It's like, whoa. It's like you down there, on the ladder,
and you relying on me,
and you should understand that and know that.
And instead of being offended.
But that's why I gave the example of you, right? Because everything goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had all of the money, and you had the financial power, I would have to accept that.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So I think that.
But then sometimes a lot of men won't accept that. But that's the thing, they won't never get in a situation anyway.
Exactly. They would never even date.
The type of men that,
Which is why this conversation is happening. Because why would men prefer to be with somebody that doesn't have money or is broke or has some sort of issue that they are fulfilling. Like men want to fulfill the void, and which is usually finances.
Yeah.
Because honestly, fulfilling somebody's finances is not really hard.
Yeah.
Like that's probably one of the lower.
I mean, nowadays it seems like it is because women want to be treated like Ari.
They do, but that's not realistic, and
It's not.
and us men know that. Like,
and these women need to understand that.
No, they
know
do.
that.
They know that.
Yeah,
They
because
know,
you see who they settle with off
exactly.
the internet. Like they be retweeting
bro,
all this stuff, and then you see who they date, and you're like,
him.
That's who you. Yeah, like don't like. Let me not job shame, but like I just be like getting confused. I'm like I be seeing people tweet stuff and retweet stuff, and I see who they end up with. And I'm like, okay,
yeah,
like you're not even practicing what you preach.
But anyway,
yeah. Right.
Anyways,
let me get hurt.
Yeah. So my question to men is: do you want the perfect woman? I mean, unfortunately, yeah. I'm not saying for me, but I think that men, kind of in some way, I feel like everything is definitely a social media blame. As a man, I will say that the idea of, or the women that you get to see that you would have never seen before Twitter and Instagram and all this other stuff, especially, maybe not, maybe I shouldn't say especially. No, I'll say especially because it is applicable here. A few, like you wouldn't see a woman from like, and I don't want to call out any specific countries to make it.
Maybe just say like the Western Hemisphere. Oh wait, are we in the Western Hemisphere?
Yes, we are.
The Eastern Hemisphere. Say like or somewhere in like.
This is
like
not coming from
South America.
This is not coming from a personal place, but
yeah.
you could see a woman. You could see a woman now from Brazil and FaceTime her immediately right now.
Yeah.
You would have never seen that woman 30 years ago. So I think that because of that,
you would have seen it on TV.
You could have seen it on TV, but you wouldn't have seen it in the way that we see it.
You have no access to it.
Right, but you also wouldn't have seen it now. Like you see it in 4K now.
Yeah.
So to me, I feel like the men's access to the world and being able to see different women has, in much the same way that it's changed for women, I think that it's changed men's perspective as to what they want. And and that is applicable with social media. It's like, yo, you want the girl with the BBO, which is not all of us. Actually, most of us don't. Most of us don't because it looks crazy. You remember the girl in American Dream?
Yeah, it looks worse in person. For anybody who wants to know, I've seen 2 BBOs in my life. I feel like her and then the girl at the gym.
I've seen a ton.
Bad in person.
That one in Dream could have hurt somebody.
That's why those people in front of us. They was laughing the whole time, and then they turned around and tried to get us laugh.
That was dangerous. I think they searched that when she flies. Like it was crazy.
In person, it does not look fun, cute. I don't know. I'm not gonna bash bodies, but I am gonna bash a body that you put on yourself. Like.
But anyway, I think that men's world in general has opened up with the women that are available, and also the influence of porn.
Yeah.
I feel like has made men basically want the IG model that's a porn star in their wife or the person that they're dating, and I feel like that's the part that is why men want.
I mean, it's possible though.
It is very possible.
Like it's possible. Like there's like I feel like some girls who honestly look the best, look better than some of these girls who be getting around, and be the ones that literally only got like 2 bodies, 1 body, like.
Right.
It is just very just conservative, like in as far as sharing themselves, but still is like promiscuous, I guess you could say, in the sense of like with their partner and not nobody else. So
if anybody's listening and wondering where the submissive part comes in from that, it's because you want her to do what ideally, and it's not me saying ideally, but for somebody that feels this way, ideally you would want a girl that does whatever you say, looks how you want her to look, and then has sex with you the way you want her to have sex with you. That would be like the holy trinity, and I don't want to use the word holy, but that would be the trinity of what a guy would want.
Yeah, not all guys.
Not all. But we're talking specifically about the men that want submissive women.
Yeah.
Because that satisfies all of their needs. I don't even think men don't even care about food and survival, to be honest with you. As long as you just have sex with them and you look the way they want you to look, I think men would go hungry and starve.
And I think people take the word submissive too literal. Like I don't think it means
submissive doesn't mean bow down.
And like the way she's saying like a puppet, I don't think, or a prisoner. I don't think that's really what is defined. Like I think it just means simply like catering and like just being like you said, just being like almost kind of being in your place. Like if somebody, like you said, cause people, that's the thing that confuses me. Like, women always be so like they're against 50-50. Men should be taking care of the house and everything, but it's like, but then you want to have a say so in a situation where it's not even equal. Unless you want to go into an equal household where like, okay, we split majority of bills, we take care of the kids equally, we clean equally, then yeah, I'm not like if I don't feel like I want to be a submissive woman to you, I don't think that could be a complaint because like what kind of benefit, is a woman getting in that situation if everything's equal?
To be completely honest, I question whether, because I'm not one of these people, so it's hard for me to speak on it because I'm trying to put myself in different perspectives. I wonder if it's even related to anything else besides sex, to be completely honest with you. Because I don't know if men are like...
The word submissive?
In terms of what she's thinking of, I don't know if men really care about anything else. You know what I mean? I don't see a man...
I think she's talking about both.
I just don't... I don't personally feel that it would be like... Because submissive how?
I think like there's two ways to be submissive. Obviously, if we're talking like sexually, like submissive obviously just means like you're not the dominant person. Like you're not the person that really initiates. You're not the person that really takes control. Like, they call it like pillow princesses. You kind of just let the man do whatever he wants to you. And like you're just kind of more of like,
Which is the funny part.
Sense.
Because then that even contradicts that. I'm sorry to cut you off. Because I feel like men, I actually probably prefer the opposite of that.
Really?
Yes.
I think it depends though. Like I think everything is like it's dependent.
Well, that is
dependent.
Some guys
want like you probably could tell like they want to be in control even in that sense. Like they rather like.
That's true.
Treat a girl like a rag doll.
I think it depends. I think if she knows what she's doing, then you prefer her to do it. But if she doesn't, then you prefer to do it yourself.
I mean, I think honestly, most men probably like an equal balance. Like they want to kind of have control in a way, but then also they want to just lay sometimes, just relax and be like catered to. So.
Yeah,
and it's submissive in a sense of like, what she's kind of talking about too. It's like I was saying before, like you kind of just like she make it sound like speak when you're told
that's
to speak.
What I'm saying.
Nah, I feel like what I think of it is just a woman that's kind of like catering. Like you come home, like you don't have to tell her to cook. Like you have the meal cooked already. Like just, on her wanting to do that. Like it's not like she's being told to do that. It's like she wants to cook to her man. She wants to give him massages, like it's her desire to do that. Not like she's being told to do that. It's just that's the nurturing in her. That's why I view as submissive.
But that's why that's why I'm trying to confirm what the specific things are, because submissive doesn't mean bow down and he got you on a leash walking you around the house. I mean, it might though,
because like in the 50 Shades of Grey, that was the whole thing.
Oh, but that's
dominant
different. But that was a sexual kink.
Yeah, but I think maybe the word does have roots in that, and some people take it so literally, like, oh, cook for me. It's like, oh, yes, sir. Like, what?
Yeah, but nobody's doing it. Yo, listen to me. Especially not in this day and era. You tell a woman to, hell no.
That's why I think the better word.
Unless they want to.
That's why I think the better word should be woman. Some women are nurturers and caterers. Maybe the word submissive shouldn't really be used.
Because to me, it's like more so men want a woman to defer to them. Like, right? Like, if you're going out somewhere, the man's going to want you to defer to him to drive somewhere. But to me,
or ask hey, I'm going with my friends. Is that okay? Like, is that what you're thinking?
No, I'm just saying, because maybe it is. Maybe that's what she's talking about. Because that's definitely true. But I mean more so like, let's say we're going to get food right now.
Yeah.
I want to drive, and that's how it works. I always want to drive, but that's more so not a man thing. That's more so I feel more in control of my own personal safety if I feel like I'm behind the wheel.
Yeah.
But like in those situations, like that to me isn't like a misogynistic, sexist sort of thing if the guy just wants to drive.
But some people will view it as that.
As you're being submissive because you're letting him drive. So it's like I would just need confirmation on what she's specifically talking about, because nobody's in it. Like I said, in this day and age, we were just outside at that party yesterday.
Yeah.
Could you imagine any man in there telling a girl like what to do, and woman? We gotta unlearn girl, right? So it's like I don't think that any woman is doing these things anyway.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm confused, like what she's talking about here.
Yeah, I think she's taking it literal, like, because like she said, king treatment and knowing your partner's love language. That's one thing. So she's saying kind of what I'm saying, that this king treatment that a lot of women like, the caterer thing. But she's saying being submissive is a whole nother thing. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe she's thinking like the whole, like I said, the dominant submissive relationship, where it really is that whole getting permission to go out, getting permission what to wear. A lot of people do have relationships like that, which is actually kind of sad. I think that's what she's talking about. So she's not talking about what I'm talking about, which is good. So because she even said king treatment and knowing your partner's love language is one thing. That's what I'm saying. I don't see nothing wrong with king treatment. If you want to cater to your man and he's taking care of what you feel like he should be taking care of to get that treatment, that's your prerogative. That's your relationship.
Also, and I'm sure this is not applicable to most scenarios, but there's also definitely a slew of women that prefer to be submissive, and even in that wild sense, like getting permission to do things.
Yeah,
because they have
they
like that daddy issue thing. Like I want to ask,
yeah, and there's definitely a lot of women who agree to that. And that's why I always say, well, do what's best for you. That's why I hate these conversations, because it's like, if a man wants a submissive woman and there's women out there who want to be that, then let them do them. Like why is that even a debate?
And this is also another thing. She said, so if you find yourself abandoning your wants, needs, and desires to make something work, I'm here to tell you it was never a match to begin with.
So
I disagree with that, because
I think she's talking about people who kind of do put too much of themselves aside to cater to their partner. Like you shouldn't have. There's a level of what you should be. Like honestly, I feel like you shouldn't really put anything. Like, cause there was a conversation too on Twitter about maybe I could bring that up next, but a conversation that the guy was talking about like how men feel like they can't do their hobbies anymore when they get married. So it's like I feel like there really shouldn't be anything you have to put aside, honestly, for marriage or relationship to work. But sometimes there might be some small things that you had to fix, and you're right. But I get that. But I guess what she's saying, when it gets to a point where you're putting too many things aside and putting yourself at second too much, then it's kind of like, what's the point?
I almost feel like you have to abandon all of your wants, needs, and desires to make your relationship work.
Nah.
Because I think it ends up blending together. Like you have to do everything together.
I don't think so, though, because like you could still kind of assert a level of like this is my time. Like going back to like this tweet about the hobbies, like like you shouldn't have to put your hobbies aside. Like if you want to collect cars, then tell your wife, I'm gonna collect cars and I'm gonna put my money aside for it. I mean, I get it though, because your money is going more towards the.
Let me tell you. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What if your desire is was to go to what's a good destination? Let's say your desire was to go to Bali with your boys.
Okay. Then go to Bali. All right. But I don't. What's the issue with that?
Thank you guys for watching.
No, I'm saying for real. Like that's
this has been.
That's why look. This even said married men always talk about how they have to stop their hobbies that have nothing to do with women when they get married. Just misery. No more nice cars, motorcycle cigars, collecting shoes, whatever else. Just wife and work. And it's like you shouldn't have to put any of that aside.
You shouldn't have to, but let me tell you, all of my male coworkers hate their lives.
Yeah, because their wives that they pick suck. Like people pick these horrible partners. Like if you want to collect a sneaker and have your sneaker wall, if it's not affecting me in my life, go ahead do that. If you still taking care of the bills and taking care of the kids, how are your hobbies affecting me? Like let the man do what he wants to do. Like when you make beats, I check myself sometimes to be like, yeah, I want to hang out, but let him enjoy his hobbies. He never has time to do this anymore because of school. Like let him make his beats. Like
I think it's because women take offense to you wanting to do things for yourself.
Yeah, because they feel like everything has to be, we need to do it together. We should be going out together. And I guess sometimes I have to catch myself because like you'll be like, oh, I'm going to go to the mall. And I'm like, oh, I want to come. Like, but sometimes I genuinely need to go, like genuinely. But like sometimes I catch myself like maybe he just wants to go to the mall by himself. Like you don't have to follow him everywhere, you know. Like sometimes I try to be better about that. But I think like you said, a lot of women take offense to that. Like, oh, he doesn't want to hang out with me. He hates me. We don't have enough time together. And sometimes I think sometimes men do put too much into their hobbies when you have to balance now. Like I do. That's why I said there is a small level of like that naturally happens of you having to pull back a little bit on things naturally.
Yeah.
Because like if you like, let's say like you're single, you might spend 6 hours a day making beats.
If I was single, I would probably spend 18 hours a day making beats.
But it's like when you're in a relationship, you might have to cut that in half. Like I think at least a half. So it's like, all right, let me like if you want to make beats for 6 hours, all right, it's like maybe I'll do it for 3, and then the other 3 we can go to the movies or something. On that particular day, you know, there's some times where it's like you could spend the whole day doing that if you guys just want to have a day apart. Like I saw a tweet where girls were saying they're starting to go on solo dates. Like you don't have to go on a date with your man all the time. Like you go out to go eat by yourself and go to the movies by yourself if that's what you want to do and enjoy your me time. You know, I think
men are not afforded that.
They're not, and it's sad. And that's why I'm saying I think that if they are afforded that more, less men would be miserable in their marriages. But like you said, they're not. Like I told you,
and
like
then women get suspicious.
My coworker was at a happy hour. I told you his wife kept calling, and literally people were clowning him. They're like, "Oh, I don't want to say her name, but they know her name in the office. It's like, oh, she's calling. Like he had to go." I was like, "This is crazy." I'm like, "And she's a whole teacher. Of course, you don't understand that this man wants to drink after a whole quarter, a year-end quarter. Like, great, crazy career. Like, you know, that's kind of a career difference too. Like, teachers might not necessarily understand that whole like pressure of corporate and being in a manager in a big insurance company. You know, like who just finished year-end filing and just wants to chill with their coworkers and get a drink and just relax. Like, she was so just like, come home, come home. Like, I was like, whoa, let this man get a little drink or two. Like, so I definitely agree with you. Men are definitely not afforded that free time. And it's kind of messed up.
No, it's very messed up, actually, because I was just thinking about it. I'm like, I think that there's and then this is going to go down a whole other conversation, but I'll just say this one point. I think that men go through so many things internally and can't really even necessarily talk to their guy friends about it.
Yeah.
So what we used to do was just connect through things like playing video games and playing basketball and stuff like that. And while you're not talking about the issue specifically, it helps you get your mind off things and deal with them a little bit differently through expression. And like one of those ways that I would do it is definitely making music. You saw I used to play basketball like an obscene amount of time. I would be in the gym for like 6 hours playing basketball for like no reason. Or playing video games. Obviously, I don't do those things now, which is why I'm depressed. But
Babe, you're not depressed.
But when you take even that away, then that's where you see men start to become miserable. They hate their wives, and then they go and cheat on their wives.
Yeah.
And then,
And that's the thing. A lot of women don't want to admit that. Like, you might do have like
not that it's excused.
Yeah, like we always say, cheating is not an excuse. But like, just leave. Like, that's my whole thing. Just leave. But sometimes, like, you do kind of have to see where you might have partook. Is that the word, partook? In that?
You are correct.
Yeah, because it's like it's messed up. Like, of course, yeah, there has to be a balance. Of course, like, you need to make sure your wife's not being like. That's the thing. If my coworker, if we were having happy hours weekly or like back to back, I get that. That was our first happy hour in 7 months, and she was mad. Or 6 months. I was like, what the heck? This is the second happy hour I've been to. I've been working. It's gonna be for like 8 months now. Like, what is she upset about? 9 months at that point. Like, it was just like, I'm like, this was our third one. We did like our annual one. We had one when I first started, and that was the Christmas one. I think that was like the Christmas celebration. That was like the third happy hour. She was mad.
Another thing too, and I have no idea what this has to do with anything. And that's abusive, by the way.
It is.
I was just thinking about a random double standard. If a man was to be yelling at a woman in public.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I was on the subway. I told you this story. I was on the subway. I keep my AirPods in. I'm always aware, so I heard it, but I kept my AirPods in only because I was too far away from the scenario to really do anything. Not that I would have necessarily done anything anyway, because I care about my safety more than anything. But a guy was yelling at a woman on the subway and almost got the brakes beat off of him by all the men on the subway.
Yeah.
But if a woman was doing that to a man, it would be absolutely nothing. And I don't want to do the Impression Olympics, but I just randomly thought about that. I don't know what you were saying that made me think about that.
We just talking about.
Oh, you know what made me think about that? It was about the way that, just the way that I've seen a lot of women talk to like men in public. Remember, we were just walking down the street in New York, and a lady was screaming at the guy on the park bench.
Oh yeah.
I should do Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like it's like.
And he was like, yo.
Yeah, but like you said, like if you see that in the public, it's like, oh my god, like she's cooking him. She's like, oh, like get him. But if, like you said, it's the other way around. Ooh, is she okay? He shouldn't be talking to her like that. It's so crazy. Like, society is so messed up.
I'm not trying to do.
Meanwhile, that man could be a victim, like, literally of abuse, mental and physical abuse and emotional abuse. And we were sitting here like, yeah, get him. What did he do? He cheat? Like,
yeah, I wasn't trying to do the Impression Olympics and say that men have it worse than women, but I was just saying in general
double
about men's just mental state and like stuff that men go through.
Yeah, and then you wonder why they cheat and they do this, that. Cause look at how society treats them, men, and how you can't be emotional, you can't do this, you got to cater to your woman and pay all the bills and spend all your time with her and buy her flowers every day. It's like, what are we doing for men? Like, what the heck? Like, what is going on? And you ask women what they bring to the table, and they take you talking about Sex. Like, what else? Like, that's not everything.
Sex also makes you more depressed, but we ain't gonna talk about that one.
Why? Could the endorphins and the
Anyway,
highs.
very high and then you go very low again.
Yeah, but you shouldn't go very low. I feel like you have an imbalance if that happens. Cause after I don't go low, I just be chilling.
No, I'm saying if you're having issues anyway, it's not gonna help you.
True.
It's gonna put you on a high and then you're just gonna be right back where you were before.
True.
It's like a 30-second thing.
True.
Meaning the feeling is like afterwards. It's like too short term of a.
Yeah, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely.
Back to submissive.
Well, just real quick, I was saying this. I feel like a word of advice for a lot of people is that you kind of should just date someone that has like a same, like, you know how I was talking about the teacher versus the manager at a financial working in financial reporting / accounting, being a manager versus working with a teacher. You know, you work all year round and your wife is home 3 months of the year. It's like sometimes you kind of should align, like unless you guys could come to, you know, understanding of each other's lifestyles. Sometimes it's the best way is to align, like your lifestyle should align with your partner. Like that might be a requirement because like if you're just as busy as them, like it wouldn't bother you. Like if you're at a happy hour with your coworkers and I'm at a happy hour with mine, I'm chilling, you're chilling. We all come home and see each other. That's fine.
And I don't want to be there anyway.
And sometimes if I'm home, I'm fine. Like this is good. Like okay, I get some time to myself. I could watch whatever I want on the TV. I could do whatever I want. I could eat my seafood without you saying it stinks. Like, you know, it's sometimes it's like you have that space to yourself. But people, I think they don't align lifestyles and stuff, and that's why women are so dependent on their man and needy and want to hang out with them all the time. It's like go hang out with like your friends or go hang out with like your siblings or go to the mall
go
by
visit
yourself.
your mom.
Yeah, go see your
go
grandma.
Speak to your parents.
You haven't seen in like 2 years. Like it's okay. You don't have to see your man every day. Like it's okay. So you definitely should align lifestyles and needs and wants. But that's things people don't do, and that's why the divorce rate's so high.
Yeah.
And then they be like, "How come you're not married yet?"
What else we got, gang?
Oh wait, I thought you wanted to bring it back to submissive thing.
Oh no, I was just making sure that we always route it back because we go off in a different direction. Oh yeah, we good.
Close it out. Like I kind of agree with her. Like there is a level of submission that is kind of insane.
That both people should meet at a common ground.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like all these debates are really kind of pointless to me because if a woman wants to be that puppet and the man wants that, let them have it, right? Let them do them. They know how they're bothering us, right?
Yeah, everybody's happy.
Like I never understood. That's why I don't understand these like debates and like her ranting and stuff.
Because everything is so individual.
Yeah, like some girls want to be that. They really just have this weird fetish for being that. Let them be that.
Well, let's not say weird.
Okay, yeah, because what's weird and what's normal anyway.
Yeah, right.
But if they want to be that, let them be that. Like, why are you mad about that? If she wants to be that type of girl and the man wants that type of girl, match made in heaven. Like, let them do them. If that's not what you want to be, then don't be that. Like.
But if that was the case, we wouldn't have a pod.
But the pod is talking about how.
If everybody had common sense, we damn sure wouldn't have a pod.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
That's why we're gonna be in business forever.
Yeah, our pod is literally destabilizing the craziness.
We should have called it the Common Sense Podcast or something.
Yeah, like I think our whole purpose of our pod is just literally breaking down how crazy and dumb people are and
our own flaws as well. Because you know.
Yeah,
I saw one. Well, I think that was important when we were talking about last week about our addictions by first bringing up our own addictions and not sounding like holier than thou on every single episode.
Yeah, like we talked about our problems because we are realists. We are.
Listen, I'm the realest person that anybody will ever meet.
Yeah,
the only
same.
thing.
I'm very true to myself.
Everybody says that too.
Everybody does say that, but then they can never admit their flaws.
The thing is, I'm like the most honest person, but the only thing is that I don't like anybody. So like who I tell and who I talk to, it's very limited.
Yeah.
Like I would never say most of these things to anybody on the street.
Yeah.
But I'll get on here and talk to
which is good.
A public platform.
Which is good though because at least people are able to see what you had to say.
Yeah, because I'll still say it, but if I'm gonna say it to you, remains to be seen.
And my whole thing too, I feel like there's a level of like caring. Like I'm not like simply we're just talking to each other. Like that's what the point of a podcast. These are conversations we have off camera. But this type of advice, like I said, I wouldn't be giving in person. I only will give it to people I actually care about and want them to better themselves and give tough love. That's why people hate Virgos because we're very like very critical, overly critical, and like brutally honest with people because we want everybody to be perfect because we try to be perfect, which is a flaw. But perfectionism is definitely a flaw. And I'm working on it. Whoa.
Yeah.
What's that?
Nothing.